Welcome to the Connor Mack Show, and today we're going to be breaking down the Heat's 2-3 zone defense and their offensive execution and how it led them to a 17-point comeback win in Game 2. The Heat needed to start executing better offensively, and right here they started off with a corner 3 by Goran Dragic. Here the Heat are playing man-to-man defense, and you see how easily Tatum gets his floater off a curl and one. Again, here are the Heat playing man-to-man, and Goran Dragic does a better job of getting over this and contesting, but still the Celtics are having way too much success off this one play. On offense, you give Duncan Robinson a little bit of space and he's going to knock down this 3, and he had a fine game too. I had to throw this in here because Bam was so special defensively. Look at how he stays in front of Tice and contests without fouling. This is why he's so valuable to the Heat. Here the Heat run a nice action. Bam will pop off this screen, and then he'll set a dribble handoff for Crowder, and watch as Tatum has his back turned right here and can't really do anything until it's too late. This is the first Heat zone look we've seen in the third quarter, and you see how the Heat invert their zone to have their two lengthy wing defenders at the top and the guards at the sides. The Celtics will need someone to flash to the free throw line in order to break this down, but it takes a second to develop, and eventually Tice will flash, but he should have hit Jaylen Brown here cutting because the Heat had a 2-on-1 advantage with Bam as the sole defender. Then Kemba will drive and miss a wide open Tatum on the kick out, and this isn't good offense by the Celtics, but great defense by Miami. Here the Heat will run a side pick and roll with Bam and Dragic, and after the initial screen doesn't really free him up, they'll run again, and Dragic will go to the lane, but Bam does a nice job popping out right here for the dunk, and this is just easy offense for the Heat. This kind of looks like man-to-man right here, but we know it isn't because Jay Crowder isn't really guarding anybody, and Duncan Robinson doesn't really stay with Kemba Walker, the man who cuts behind him. Thus, the Celtics need to break down this with their zone offense, and here, the Heat do a great job of staying disciplined. The Celtics are looking for answers, and Marcus Smart then gets doubled. He misses a wide open Jaylen Brown at the free throw line, and if this wasn't a foul, it would have been a great defensive series. In this offensive set, watch how Marcus Smart at the top of the screen just face plants, allowing Duncan Robinson to run wide open to the opposite corner. Jay Crowder recognizes he's about to get doubled, and watch how Jaylen Brown's a step slow to react to Crowder moving on the 3-point line. This is all the space Crowder needs to knock this down, and it ended up being a 4-point play. The key for the Celtics zone offense is to try to create mismatches all throughout the court. They're looking for Daniel Tice to set a screen here in order to free up cutting action for an odd man situation. You'll see here Tice will set the screen, and then Jaylen Brown will cut. And Bam is isolated here on a 2-on-1, but because of his great athletic ability, there's some margin for error here for him contesting shots. The same play happens here, but Jay Crowder then digs the ball for a steal, and back come the Heat the other way. Watching this play as Enes Kanter gets stuck in no man's land, and Jaylen Brown loses track of Bam Adebayo on the curl screen, and it leads to a wide open, easy Heat dunk. Enes Kanter right here is going to set a screen for Jason Tatum, and the Heat defense forces Boston to do exactly what it wants to do. Brown will drive and then will kick out to Kemba, and because of the Celtics' lack of shooting at times, the Heat defense considers this as a win. Now this offensive set is really nice. Bam's going to go into a dribble handoff right here, a little 2-footed stop floater, and the Heat will take that all day. If you want to see how difficult the Celtics shots were, check out this possession. Kanter's going to set the screen for Tatum, but all the action's really shut off because the perimeter defenders for Miami are so fast. Tatum gets the ball here, and he's eventually going to get into the middle of the lane, but this is a difficult floater with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Another defensive possession here. The Heat do a really good job staying at home, and Derrick Jones Jr. is one of the best defenders for Miami. Kemba can't get by him, and now there's only 7 on the shot clock. Bam closes off baseline, and Tatum's now forced to go to the rim. He gets bailed out by a foul, but that's not great offense for the Celtics. This is an area Jason Tatum needs to improve. Semi Ojeleye does his job cutting to the open space, and Tatum looks right at him but then tries to draw the foul. That right there needs to be passed, and then the Celtics miss the ensuing 3. This is a great job here executing by Miami. Dragic and Kelly Olynyk will have their own little 2-man game, and after the screen, you'll watch as Dragic is super patient, discards Ojeleye, and banks it off a glass for a nice easy layup. If you ever wonder why you put long, lanky defenders at the top of the zone, it's to deflect lazy passes like this. Derrick Jones Jr. was huge for the Heat, and you see right here he gets into Leo guarding position and draws a charge on Jason Tatum. This play right here, you'll see how the Heat will double Jaylen Brown at the baseline and cause all sorts of problems for Boston. They get into their set, but you'll see how Kelly Olynyk plays this 2v1 perfectly, recovers from the passing lane, and forces Jaylen Brown into a tough layup. Offensively, the Heat ran their stuff really well. Watch the ball move from side to side, and then Jay Crowder will come off this dribble handoff and hit a tough contested three. He was hitting these all game, it's going to be key for them to win the series. Back in the zone look here, they'll get center, but great contest by Derrick Jones Jr. Jaylen Brown will drive to the rim here, and watch how 4 Heat defenders are gang rebounding. That's just effort and great coaching. Again, a long lanky wing can deflect these passes, and if he didn't get pushed out of bounds, this would have been a layup. Here the Celtics are trying to break down a zone defense, and a lot of interesting things happen on this play. Marcus Smart will swing it to Tatum, and Tatum's quickly doubled. So the Celtics are forced to swing it back out, and they actually have a look right here, but Brown fumbles the pass. Now, Brown tries to pass it to Tatum, and then Tice is wide open under the rim, and he just totally misses him. The Celtics then will make this 3 out of the timeout, but this is really good defense by Miami. Tatum at the top of the key here, finds Marcus Smart, passes up on a shot, so he swings it back out to Tatum. Great help by Hero. Now there's only 8 on the shot clock. The Celtics are then forced to throw up this tough floater, and it doesn't go down. This possession right here is a really good example of how Butler and Robinson do a really good job switching, and Robinson comes on the high hedge, and then quickly gets back to his position in the zone. The Heat do a really good job for most of the possession here, but Adebayo gets stuck behind this tight screen, and Tatum goes in for a dunk. This is a great possession and a good example of Jimmy Butler's court awareness. Adebayo's going to set the high ball screen, and then he's going to get a nice feed from Jimmy Butler for this sky hook. Bam Adebayo is really big in this series so far, and he's going to need to be on the offensive end for them to close it out. A high ball screen by the Celtics here, and this was the play of the game for me. Jimmy Butler saves this from going in bounds, Robinson feeds him, and this is just another example of why having defensive wings at the top of the zone is so crucial. 1 point game, again, same look, Marcus Smart passes up the first shot, Tatum pump fakes, and he should really shoot this right here, and you gotta wonder if that was Gordon Hayward in the zone, would he shoot that? The Celtics drive in, get fouled, but, again, Marcus Smart should have shot that shot. This is great action by the Heat. Jimmy Butler's going to get this double ball screen. He's going to get switched onto Tatum. Tatum takes a poor angle defensively, and Butler blows by him for a layup. Right here's a great job of Jay Crowder and Goran Dragic cutting off the angle to the basket. Marcus Smart gets denied once, and watch this again. After Marcus Smart receives the pass, they both collapse again and force a really difficult shot. This is a great job by Dragic to contest, and the Heat really clamp down late defensively. Again, the Heat get the Celtics into an action that they want. The dribble drive's not there, the first pass isn't there, so they force a Kemba 3, and Kemba did hit some, but the Heat were going to live with that rather than a drive to the basket. Heat up 2, this is a chance for them to put the game away right here. What we're going to see is Jimmy Butler isolated at the top of the key, then comes the ball screen. He could have taken that shot, but he waits and waits. Now Goran Dragic is going to do his thing. This step back through is just absolutely ridiculous, and these shots just define playoff series. Watch this play right here. Marcus Smart's going to shoot this off the pass, but watch Jaylen Brown cutting baseline. In my opinion, this play should be Jason Tatum back screening Goran Dragic, giving Jaylen Brown a wide open 3 in the corner. This would be a better action, and instead they force it, the Heat come back the other way, and this is a wrap for game 2. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. More videos are on the way soon.